What's up, YouTube? In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the best possible settings that you can be using right now in Warzone Season 2 for Resurgence ranked play. There were a couple of different graphical changes that were made and a couple of extra settings that were added to the game. And so without further ado, let's just jump right in. To kick things off and just to kind of go in order, I am going to be talking about the graphic settings first. I will be showing you guys the controller settings for this too, so if you guys are on console, you can always just skip using the little bar at the bottom right to the controller settings section. But for the most part, in this display section here, your settings in this are most likely going to be dependent on the setup and monitor you're on. I do want to touch on this NVIDIA reflex low latency because some people find the game feels better with on plus boost and some people find it feels better with just on. The main difference that I've been told, at least, is that on plus boost can potentially introduce inconsistent timings when it comes to the delay, making your game sometimes feel less consistent for some people. I personally haven't had an issue with that, so I use the on plus boost to get the lowest possible. The eco mode preset, you need to make sure that's on custom. You don't want it to be on efficiency. You don't want it to be on low consumption, otherwise your game will run significantly worse than it should be. For the frame limit, I like to do 30, 60, 60. That way in game, I'm not capped, but at the main menu, I'm not torching my graphics card. And for the rest of this, these settings should just be as is. For the quality section, make sure that this is on 100 and make sure that it's correctly displaying the resolution that you play at on the left. Sometimes this can reset. Sometimes mine will go down to like 70 for some weird reason. I don't know what exactly causes this, but just make sure it's on 100. I like to use Fidelity Cast for your upscaling and sharpening. Make sure you have it on 100. A lot of people have talked about using DLSS, but DLSS makes your game look like crap and it introduces a bunch of input delay, so it's not worth using. It literally hinders you. For the VRAM scale target, I like to use 85. Anywhere from 80 to 90 is totally fine though. I'm going to leave my textures at normal, but for the most part, these settings are all going to be off or on the lowest possible setting, just because you don't really need these, and it really does make a difference when it comes to FPS. I will mention though that the water quality is something that is very important to have on your game, because the water caustics especially allows you to better see people in the water. If you're finding you have low FPS near the water and you have it on all, just set it to water caustics, but definitely don't turn this off. For the view, make sure you have FOVs on 120. Make sure this says affected because it's going to give you that lower recoil appearance. Even though it's the exact same, it makes you feel like you have less. And then also at the bottom here, you want to make sure that both of these motion blurs are off. They are turned on by default, and then film grain is also on, I believe, 0.25 by default, which I don't even know why people add film grain to the games nowadays. It makes the game look like crap. You're literally adding like a visual fuzziness, lack of clarity to the game by having any of this on, so just turn it all the way to 0. Make sure both of these camera movements are set to least because it will help reduce any sort of camera shake, which can also make you feel like you have more recoil than you actually do. For the audio settings, I run the Art is War audio stuff. I'm not going to sit here and go through exactly how to do that. Art made like an hour-long video on the best audio tune for the game and how to set that up. So I'm going to leave that to him. I'm not going to try to explain that, but I like the Audio Mix PC speaker. If you guys aren't on PC, just use PC speaker. It makes literally everything louder. The meta is no longer to be using the cinema or home theater anymore. You need to be using PC speaker. Next off, for our controller settings, I like to play on 8.8 sensitivity with a 0.75 ADS, meaning that when I aim down sights, I have 0.75 of 8, aka 6 sensitivity when I'm aimed in. This allows me to loot quickly because I'm not going to be aiming in when I'm looting, but also maintain very good accuracy when I go to shoot somebody. All of my custom sensitivities per zooms are left at just 1. I don't think you should change that. Next thing I think you should change on this is your aim response curve. Everybody should be using dynamic. Dynamic gives you the most precision without slowing down any of your look around or your aiming. It will feel a little weird initially, but I promise you guys, getting used to this is 110% worth it. Every professional Warzone player is using this. Make sure that your target aim assist is turned on. For the aim assist type, you want to be using default. Don't touch that at all. Default is 100% the best. For the gameplay settings, I like to use automatic tac sprint. Make sure you have slide maintain sprint on as well. Auto move forward should be off. Tactical sprint behavior should be on single tap sprint. Now we can just like, like stick an instant tac sprint. Grounded mantles, some people turn off because it will prevent you from mantling on stuff accidentally when you slide. It's some weird bug with the grounded mantle setting. So if you find when you're sliding, you're accidentally mantling on stuff or on top of roofs or windows or whatever it may be, it's because this setting is on, and if you turn it off, it'll go away. I keep it on though because especially on Vondel and Fortune's Keep, it's really hard to get through some of those windows without being able to mantle through them. Automatic airborne mantle and automatic ground mantle should both be off. Your slide behavior should be on slide only. And now this is actually one of the newer settings that they've added that I will touch on. They added a hybrid setting, and I don't think this works too well for people that use automatic tac sprint, but for those of you guys that are actually clicking the sprint button while you're sprinting, if you tap this, you will slide, and if you're holding down the sprint button, the L3, and then click circle, then it will also one-tap dive you, theoretically giving you the ability to one-click slide and dive. But I found this to be problematic with the settings that I was using because of my automatic tack sprint. I found that I was diving around on accident all the time when I was trying to slide, even though I wasn't clicking my sprint button. It was a little bit annoying, so I just keep it on slide only, but that option is there for you guys, especially if you guys don't use automatic tack sprint. I think it's 100% worth using. Make sure you guys turn off your automatic parachute. And then for the most part, man, none of these settings have really changed. The back stance toggle, your prioritize interact, your apply all plates, all of this stuff are pretty standard settings, and I don't want to spend too much time beating them to death because they're the exact same settings people have been using for years now. Give or take one or two minor changes. For the interface, you can kind of set this up however you want. Make sure that your minimap rotation is on. You can turn on your horizontal compass if you want. And one more thing that I like to actually use, I like to turn on my center dot and set it to larger. It basically gives you a larger dot in the middle of your screen. I find that this helps a lot with centering when it comes to trying to get ready for gunfights. Some people like it, some people don't. Try it out. Let me know what you guys think. And then for the rest of this, man, this is just all, again, personal preference. Hopefully I was quick with today's settings video. I didn't want to sit here and spend a ton of time talking about this. I just wanted to give you guys a good resource to be able to go back through and look through my settings. If today's video helpful, please consider leaving a like and some of the channel. If you guys want to stay up to date with literally everything Call of Duty, I post daily videos, and I'm also live on Twitch right now as you're seeing this. If you guys want to come talk to me real time or ask me questions, come on through. I'd love to see you guys there. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed the Super Bowl and have a great rest of your weekend.